Hi Year 2, let's jump into our maths lesson then and start off with some fluency. So yesterday we were looking at using our number bonds to 10 to help us with some related number facts to 100. So let's have a look then at our missing number bond to 10. So 8 add what equals 10? Fantastic. 8 add 2 is equal to 10. So what I've done is I've represented that as a bar model for you, where our whole 10 is on the top and our two parts, our two addends, 8 and 2 are on the bottom. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take this bar model and I'd like to look at all of the calculations that we can tell from this bar model. So for example, we've got the one that we've just done. So I know, oh, whoopsie daisy. I know because we've just done it, 8 add 2 is equal to 10. I also know that addition is commutative. So what that means is I can swap my two parts around and still get the same answer. So 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. Super. But also what we can see is that if I have 10 and I take away, see if I can do this, and I take away 2, so let me take away from my whole that part of 2, I will have 8 left. So what we can see is that if I start with 10 and I subtract 2, I'll be left with my other part of 8. But equally, if I start with my whole and then from my whole I take away my part of 8, I will be left with 2. Fantastic. There we go. So from that bar model, I've been able to show 4 different calculations there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal this other half, which is going to be a related number fact to 100. And what I'd like you to do is pause the video and have a go at using our related number facts here to have a go at, writing all the related number facts for this side as well. Fantastic, Year 2, well done for having a go at that. Let's go through it together then. So if I know that 8 add 2 equals 10, then I know that 8 tens, which is 80, plus 2 tens, which is 20, is equal to 10 tens, which is 100. So that means in our bar model that our bigger part will be 80 and our smaller part will be 20. Fantastic. And then from that then we will get, oopsie daisy, we will get that 80 plus 20 is equal to 100. We will also get that 20 plus 80 is also equal to 100 because addition is commutative. But also we can see that if I start with 100 and I take one of my parts away, then I will be left with my other part. But if I start with 100 and instead of taking 20 away, I take away my other part of 80, I'll be left with the remaining part of 20. So the reason we're looking at this is because I want to start thinking about how we can use the simple number facts that we know to help us with our larger calculations. So because I know that 8 plus 2 equals 10, I now also know that 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. I know that 10 take away 2 is equal to 8. I know that 10 take away 8 is equal to 2. And these are all the things that we've just been looking at on the previous page. But then I've also used this number fact to know that 80 plus 20 is equal to 100. But also 20 plus 80 is equal to 100. And equally, the inverse operation, I can start with 100, take away one of my parts and be left with my other part. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Take away 80 is equal to 20. And you might even say, for example, I know that 800 add 200 equals 1000. So what we're starting to do is we're starting to build a picture of all the things that I know because I know this number fact. So tomorrow, Influence Day, what I'll do is I'll have this on the screen, because I know, and then I'll have a number sentence, I know. And what I'd like you to do is jot down all the number facts that you know around it because you know this one. Fantastic. So we are going to start our maths lesson, and we are changing now from multiplication and division onto shape. So today we are looking at 2D shapes. So I've got some statements here for you. All 2D shapes are flat. So all 2D shapes are flat. That means even a piece of paper, for example. Let me go get a piece of paper. Here we go. I've got my piece of paper from my phonics pack. And even though this is flat, I can still pick it up. I can still turn it around. So this is not 2D. It would only be 2D if it was written on the paper and I couldn't pick it up off the paper. So this is not 2D because even though it is flat, I can still pick it up and move it and rotate it. Whereas these shapes here, for example, I can't physically touch these shapes and pick them up. They are just images. So these are 2D shapes here. They are flat. But also anything like a cube or, anything that you can pick up and hold are 3D. They are not 2D. They are only 2D if they are an image on a screen or a sheet of paper. So all 2D shapes are flat images. So all 2D shapes have sides. Can you pause the video and tell somebody in the room, what is a side? Okay, let's have a look then and we'll see if you said any of the things that are on here. So a side is a line that makes up a 2D shape. It can be a curved line or it can be a straight line, but all the sides must be connected. So let's have a look at these shapes over here. I've got this shape here and I can see that it's got a line, a line, a line. It's got 3 straight lines and they're all connected to each other. So this is a 2D shape and these straight lines are the sides. But here, this shape has got one continuous curved line. And this means that this shape here has got one side. Okay, so it can be a straight side or it can be a curved side. But all of our sides must be connected. So here we can see that this shape has got a break between the lines. This is not a 2D shape because they are not connected. Let's have a look at this then. Most 2D shapes have vertices. Now, once again, pause the video and tell somebody in the room, what do you think that word means, vertices? Super. Hopefully you've had some time to talk about this word vertices. Now, vertices means more than one, but if I have one by itself, I call it a vertex. Now, a vertex is another name for a corner, and a corner or a vertex is where 2 or more of those sides meet together. So here you can see that I have got 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, 3 straight sides. And, oh, let me get my highlighter. And this side meet here. So this point here, this corner is called the vertex. Okay, and then we've got this side meets this side here. So this point is called our vertex. And this side meet here. So this point is called our vertex. So I would say that this shape has got 3 vertices, because vertices means more than one vertex. So I've got an example for you here, that these sides are straight and then they curve around and then they curve around. These are not vertices because vertices are pointy. Okay, so corners and vertices, they are pointy. So this is not an example of a vertices. So what we're going to do is we are going to say these 3 statements all together. So 1, 2, 3. All 2D shapes are flat. All 2D shapes have sides. Most 2D shapes have vertices. Now you might have noticed that this is the only one that doesn't say all. And that's because if I have a look at this shape, for example, this one side here is curved and it goes all the way around until it connects back to itself. So remember, a vertex is where 2 or more lines meet. And because this shape only has one side, it doesn't have any vertices. So let's have a look at putting this information into practice. I've got for you then a word mat to help you with this. Now, some of these shapes you might already know the answer to, but if not, we can have a go at counting the sides and the vertices to try and work it out off our word mat. So let's have a look. This is it's a circle. Fantastic. So I know that this is a circle, and we know that circles have how many vertices? Well, we just discussed this. It's only got one side and it doesn't have any pointy corners. So it has got 0 vertices and one side. Let's say that together. I know it is a circle because it has 0 vertices and one side. Fantastic. Let's have a look at this shape then. What shape is this? Maybe you can pause the video, shout it out, and then play the video and we'll go through it. Lovely, fantastic. Did you say triangle? Well done if you did. So I know that it is a triangle because it has how many vertices? Well, I can see 1, 2, 3. It has 3 vertices. And how many sides? I can see that it has got 1, 2, 3 sides. Let's say that all together then. I know it is a triangle because it has 3 vertices and 3 sides. Fantastic. Okay, what shape is this? Pause the video, shout it out. Lovely, well done. Did you say that it's a square? Excellent, well done. So I know it is a square because it has how many vertices? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has got 4 vertices. And how many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Let's say our sentence all together then. I know it is a square because it has 4 vertices and 4 sides. Well done. Fantastic. Let's have another go then. Pause the video, shout out the shape. What is it? Lovely, well done. It is a rectangle. So I know it is a rectangle because it has, how many vertices does it have? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because it has 4 vertices. And how many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I think we need to take a pause there and have a think. We said that we know that this is a square because it has 4 vertices and 4 sides, but we also said we know that this is a rectangle because it has 4 vertices and 4 sides. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video and answer these questions out loud. What is the same between the square and the rectangle? And what is different? When you've got some ideas gathered together, just play the video. Well done for having a go at that year two. So let's have a think about some of the things that we might have talked about. Well, we know that they both have 4 vertices. There we go, 4 vertices. And they both have 4 sides. So they are the same because they both have 4 vertices and 4 sides. But they don't look identical, do they? And that is because on our rectangle, we have got 2 long sides over here. So you can see that on this side, we've got 2 long sides, but then we've also got 2 short sides. So on a rectangle, we've got 2 long sides and 2 short sides. But on a square, all of these sides are equal to each other. So a square is a very special type of rectangle because it can only be a square if all of the sides are equal. Let's have a think about this one then. So we're getting onto those trickier shapes now where we're getting onto more and more sides and vertices. And you might notice down here that we've got some numbers to help us with this. So does anyone know what this shape is? Pause the video, shout it out. Lovely, it is a pentagon. Now I know it's a pentagon because it has got, now let's count those vertices together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 5 vertices. And it's also got how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. So a pentagon, and you can see it from our word map, the key number here is 5. A pentagon is any shape that has got 5 vertices and 5 sides. What shape is this? Pause the video and shout it out. Fantastic, well done. If you said that it is a hexagon, lovely. So I know that it is a hexagon, and we know that because it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. And we can see from our word map that the key number here is 6. It's got 6 vertices, and it's also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Now you might be starting to notice here a little pattern between the number of vertices and the number of sides that our 2D shapes have. I'm just going to have a flick back through some of the ones that we've already answered. And whilst you're looking at this section here, I want you to have a think. Can I notice something? Did you manage to spot anything? Lovely if you said that they have the same number of vertices as they do sides. Now, the only exception to this is that very first one. So because it only has one side, that means it doesn't have any vertices. But then from the triangle onwards, 3 sides, 4-sided shapes, 5-sided shapes, 6-sided shapes. Now let's have a look at our next one. Shout it out. What shape is this? Well done if you said that it is a heptagon. Heptagon. Now we know that it's a heptagon because it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vertices. How many sides do you think it's going to have? Well, if it follows our pattern, it's going to have 7, isn't it? Let's have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. A heptagon is a shape with 7 vertices and 7 sides. Let's say that together. I know it is a heptagon because it has 7 vertices and 7 sides. Well done. And finally then, the last one I think we're going to look at is this shape. Shout it out. What shape is this? Well done if you said that it is an octagon. 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 There we go. Octagon. And we know that because it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 8 vertices. And how many sides do you think it's going to have? That's right, it does. It has 8 sides. Let's say the sentence frame together then. I know it is an octagon because it has 8 vertices and 8 sides. Lovely. So I'm just going to show you something now about some of the shapes that we've looked at. Most of the shapes that we've looked at are what we call regular. So I'm just going to show you something now that's special about these shapes. And whilst I'm showing you that, I'd like you to think, what does the word regular mean based off what I am showing you? So this is our square. This is a regular shape. This is our pentagon, and this is a regular pentagon. So have you managed to spot anything about these shapes? What's special about them? What do you think this word regular means? Okay, let's have a look then. So regular means that all of the sides in our shape are the same length. And also all this space here inside our vertices is also the same. So what that means for our shapes then is that no matter which way I turn them, I can rotate them any way like this, and it still looks the same. And that's because it's regular. Now, any shape where the sides are not equal, they are not the same, we call those irregular. Fantastic. So I just want you to have a think. I've covered up one of the shapes that we've learned about, and I want you to have a think. Out of all those shapes that we've just been talking about, which shape was not regular? Which shape was irregular? Did you say rectangle? Well done if you did. So a rectangle is not a regular shape. Why is it not regular? Well, let's draw our rectangle. Let's draw it over here. just like it is on the screen there. If I turn my rectangle, does that look the same? No, it's not regular because the sides are not the same length. Okay, so this is not a regular shape. Let's have a look at looking at some irregular shapes then. What would I call this shape? Well, I need to work it out by first of all counting how many vertices and sides it has. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got 7 vertices and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So this is a shape with 7 vertices and 7 sides. So what would I call this shape? Fantastic. It is a heptagon. It's a heptagon because all heptagons have 7 vertices and 7 sides. This is a regular heptagon, and this is what we would call an irregular because some sides are short and some sides are long. Let's have a look at our next shape then. What would we call this shape? Have a go at counting those vertices and those sides and seeing if you can work out what shape this is. Well done if you've had a go at that. If you need more time, pause the video. Let's go through it. So let's count those vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 8 vertices and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's got 8 vertices and 8 sides. So this shape would be an octagon. Well done if you said that. So an octagon has got 8 vertices and 8 sides. This is a regular octagon, but this is an irregular octagon. And last but not least, what would we call this? Now we know that it's not a square, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices, and it does also have 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we know that it's not a square because a square must have all the same sides. And we know that it's not a rectangle because a rectangle has got 2 long sides and 2 short sides. But also these spaces here all are square shapes. So it's not a rectangle, but it is a 4-sided shape with 4 vertices, and we call any other 4-sided shape, are you ready for this? Got to warm those mouths up because this is quite a big word. It is a quadrilateral. 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 I told you it's quite a big word. So any 4-sided shape just means that we would call it a quadrilateral. So a rectangle is a type of quadrilateral and a square is a regular type of quadrilateral. And if you ever forget, then try to remember this quad here. This sort of prefix quad means 4. Whew, I think our brains are just about ready to have a go by ourselves. So you can either pause the video here and go through answering on a sheet of paper all of the questions on the sheets that you want to do, or you can download the worksheets off the home learning section of the Byron Wood website. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to pull up the worksheets for you on the Word document to show you how you might do some of these by downloading the Word document. Okay, so hopefully now you can see my Word document. If you go to the home learning section of the Byron Wood website, you can download this and you can answer the questions on the sheet, save the file, and then send it back to your class email accounts. Now you've got on this document, you've got your success criteria, you've got the word mat, and you've also got the word quadrilateral and its meaning there. Now what I've done, so the circle sheet is an opportunity for you to match the shape to its name. So I've made here a little line for you. Now if you just click on that little line, you will see 2 green dots show up. If I zoom in on that a little bit, there we go. See those 2 green dots? So I know that this shape has got one side and no vertices. So this shape is a circle. So I'm going to try and find the word circle. There it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that green dot. I'm going to drag it onto circle. And then I can do the same here. So I know that this shape has got 3 sides and 3 vertices. So this would be a triangle. So then I find the word triangle. It's all the way down here. So then I click on the line. I click on the green circle and I keep my finger clicking it down and I drag it all the way to triangle. And when I've dragged it, I let go of the clicker and it will draw. Okay, so that's what you need to do for your circle sheet. The semicircle sheet is a table. So here there is a shape. You need to type in this box the name of that shape. So you can see here, it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So that must mean, I type that there, and that must mean that it also has 6 vertices, unless it's a circle, which it's not. They have the same number of sides and vertices. So let's go and have a look at our word mat, because I've forgotten. A shape with 6 sides and 6 vertices is called a hexagon. Then I type in this box hexagon, okay? And I can do that for each one of these in the table. And the triangle sheet then is now showing me some irregular shapes. So they don't look the same as the regular shapes on our word mat, but if I count those sides, so here I can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and 4 vertices. So any shape that has got 4 sides and 4 vertices is called a quadrilateral. So then I write that in there, quadrilateral. There you go. The square sheet then. The square sheet is a little bit of a riddle game, really. So I have 4 vertices and 4 sides. Also 4 equal sides. What am I? So I am describing a shape and you need to say, what is that shape I am describing? I have 6 vertices and 6 equal sides. What am I? And then our pentagon sheet is a reasoning activity of what is the same and what's different. So number 1, I've got a circle and I've got a triangle. So I could say, I might write inside my box number 1, using our sentence starters over here, they are similar because, so they are similar because, I could say they are both flat. They are different because a circle has no vertices, but a triangle has 3. So have a think about all the things that we've learnt to write your sentences, and then you can obviously just go and do number 2. So the triangle and the square, they are the same because think about those words regular, vertices, sides, flat, 2D. Think about all that language that we have just been using. So that was how to access the work from the Word document. I will go through and show you the sheets on the flip chart so that you can pause the video if that's how you've been doing your work. Equally, like we said, They can be printed, you can write them down, you can download them off the website and do them electronically. But ultimately, however you decide to do the work, you're all doing an amazing job. You should be really proud of yourselves. And we'll see you tomorrow for another maths lesson. Bye, everyone.